Yes, yes, boys. Reviewing the draw, 1-1 draw with Samford Rangers on the 9th of August 2026. Look, first of all, um, I've given it a little bit of time to digest the game. And realistically, Samford were incredibly lucky to get away with a draw in that fixture. The goal they scored was basically due to a mix-up, a defensive error that we made, which gifted them the result. And even then, we almost recovered, but for some, you know, but for some, but for some last-ditch defending. If we look at the numbers, 56% possession, 44% possession. Now, we generated 14 shots to their eight. We won seven corners to their four. Free kicks were 12 all. One of the most impressive things about our performance was the way we muscled up in the middle. We really, really stood our ground, particularly given that, we had 11 starters, and then with that, Nathan on restricted minutes. So some great efforts by the under 15s to help out. Fouls were reasonably even, um, but we completed 234 passes to their 186. We had 17 possession minutes to their 14, and the possessions won. It was a real arm wrestle in the middle. I don't actually think we need to win the arm wrestle component of the match. We just need to give a good account of ourselves and match the opposition. And if we can do that, then in my opinion, our superior football will do the talking. Uh, if we look at the review of the stats, obviously, before I move on, fantastic goal by Nathan to get us back into the match. And I do not understand how we had numerous shots. Mayal had shots, Benji had shots. We had a lot of shots in that second half where we were just all over them. I don't really, yeah, it's just incredibly unlucky. If we look at the heat map, I'll go to the heat map here because that tells a story as well. I'm not going to lean on a lot of video. So this is the heat map. Whoop, a little bit overexcited there. This was the first half heat map, okay, in terms of where the ball spent most of its time. And you can see it was a real arm wrestle, particularly in the middle of the pitch. I think we had more consistency. We had the ball more consistently in Sanford's end, but it was a real arm wrestle in the first half. If we compare that to the second half, with us running from the left of the screen to the right of the screen, you can see that essentially in that second half, they were flat out getting out of their own half. There was densely red through the middle. It's possibly one thing that we could look at. We were very direct. Um, so maybe width, more use of width might have pried them open a little bit more, but we were generating great shots going through the middle. Um, but that's a dominant heat map. And that was reflected on the field. Like honestly, you can ask anyone who watched that game. It's a very, very flattering result on Sanford. Um, if we go to our goals, so our goal, as always, to retain the ball across multiple phases. There's a couple of things I wanted to do to illustrate this. The first will be to compare our numbers to Sanford's numbers. Um, so 20 passing strings, six or more passes, three times longest passing string of seven. If we compare that to Sanford's. This is across the whole game, mind you. I didn't want to worry too much about the second half. So we've outpassed them, which is a key of our game. More specifically, we outpassed them, and to interpret these statistics appropriately, we really need to use this because they did a lot of noodling the ball around at the back. It's something they do. Their centre backs are both quite competent on the ball. But if you look at the heat map, you can see they did most of those passes noodling around at the back. We did a lot of those in our half. That's what makes this passing diagram so very impressive to me. If we compare, okay, so those statistics, but we compare that to the last time we played them when we lost 3-0 at Sanford. And obviously, there were a bunch of there were some conflating factors. The referee on that day was horrific, and basically just allowed them to kick the living bejeebers out of us. Could not get a trick, but this was the difference there. So, in actual fact, um, this is from the 31st of May. We outpassed them again. However, the difference was where we played our football, because we played our football in their first half. Now, sorry, in their defensive third, in their defensive half, which leads me through to my next challenge. Okay. Um, if we go to the review slide, did we retain the ball across multiple phases? Yes, I believe we did. Challenge two, can we dominate territory and create transitional moments using an aggressive press? Yes, in the second half, we absolutely dominated them. We basically, and I don't know, I mean, they're number six, so I think he's pretty much their strongest player. Um, I'm not sure whether he's on restrictions, but he spent a lot of time off the pitch, and I'm unsure of why. But even when he was on the pitch, we dominated his space. And not just through Griggsy, through Benji, everybody gave him nothing. And in the case of Samford, that he's very much their pivot, and a lot of their football goes through that particular individual. In terms of challenge, can we create good quality opportunities? We definitely did that. And did we finish early? We didn't mess around. We just didn't take our chances. So to me, this game it's one that got away. If I'm being completely honest, we deserved, yeah, we deserved better, but finishing is something that we just need to work harder on. That really is where we need to address. That is really where our work goes. Our game is complete, but for our finishing, we're creating the opportunities we need to win games. We're just not finishing them. If we look at the ladder now, we have now moved to fifth. Coomera knocked over MCE 5-0, which I think I'm safe in saying that's not a result I saw coming. I thought that Coomera may struggle away to MCE. Gosh, you do kind of wonder whether or not they threw it, because it's 5-0. It's a big loss. But as we saw during the week when we lost 4-0 to Lions, despite honestly dominating large parts of that game, you just cannot judge a game by the scoreboard. What was significant is that one of Coomer's goal scorers in that match actually received his fifth yellow card, so he will be absent, or he should be absent. And quite frankly, if he's not absent, then we'll just appeal the result and get the points anyway. So hopefully they're on top of their cards. One thing that I did want to talk about is the upcoming fixture against Coomera. Obviously, there will be a separate match preparation video for that. However, if we put up this table, which I have been using to track results, I was supposed to magnify there anyway. Okay, so if we look at this, essentially what it comes down to, we are now in a race for, in my opinion, I believe we're in a race for third place. With Samford. Samford are still 3 points ahead of us. That's disappointing, because had we won, then we're level with them. Samford have Lions, North Lakes, and Redlands. I don't see them beating Lions or North Lakes, but I do think they could get a result against Redlands. In our case, we have Coomera away. Can be a tricky fixture, the trip to Coomera, but on a positive note, we won't be playing at night time, so we've got a higher chance of getting a better ref. That said, honestly, we are so much stronger than the last time we played them, and the last time we played them, we won 3-0. We then play Lions, and we then play North Lakes. If we contrast that to Coomera's run, Coomera play us. So on the basis that we take 3 points from them, they then have Ipswich and Lions. Look, I don't really see them getting points from Lions, which basically means, as far as Coomera is concerned, if we win on Saturday, that would allow them to level on goal difference, and then they have Lions. We have Lions at North Lakes. What I would point out though is Samford, let's say they get 3 points against Redlands, which will probably be the last points they get this season. That finishes them on 40. So if we can find a way to get 7 points out of our last three games, it's my opinion that we will leapfrog Samford into third. We will need to get the extra point because their goal difference is much better than ours. I believe. Well, look, my suspicion is that they really profited from having whatever his name was, the striker they had for the first third of the season before injury intervened. So we have everything to play for, and every game we have for the balance of the season is a final. Okay, Coomera this Saturday is a final. Lions, you cannot tell me that we can't take points off Lions. We outplayed them at home. We go away. There's no demons playing Lions at home. It's a fantastic pitch. It's a fantastic venue. Um, like there's every reason to play well. And then we host North Lakes on the last round at home. When we last played North Lakes, we were very down on troops. When we first played them, we lost 1-0. They scored in what was pretty much their only sniff all game. So, in my opinion, at our best, at strength, playing our best, in my opinion, we should beat North Lakes. So we are in a race for third place. Okay, and we're in a race with Samford for third place, and I can't think of anything better than knocking them out of third place, giving them the final against Lions because I don't really. They've got a snowball's chance in hell of beating Lions. Um, but but you've also got to take into account that there's every possibility that it could well be the case that, Lions are only 3 points adrift. So who knows? Maybe, Coomera are only 3 points adrift. It could be that Coomera could even gazump them. Either way, we focus on what we have, which are three remaining games, which are three finals, getting the maximum points we can out of those. In my opinion, if we get 7 points from those three fixtures, that will be enough to get us third place. Ultimately, we just have to play what's in front of us. So we just need to win every fixture as we go, and then we see where we end up. I'm very, very, very happy with the football we're playing. I could not be more proud of the effort that we're putting in. Like I said, of the football that we're playing, the way we're playing as a team, the way we're rallying. It was a fantastic effort. I mean, we should have beaten Samford. I don't think there's too many observers who don't who would consider that we didn't deserve the win on Sunday. That being the case, we just need to go to Coomera on Saturday, do the business, and then we can turn our attention to the remaining games. We will take the games one at a time, notwithstanding each game is a final. And if we can go into September, having finished in the top four, playing the football we're playing, I very much fancy our chances of coming away with something because I'm yet to see a team that we can't outplay. It's just a question of finishing our chances. Boys, I'm not going to do any video because I'm going to focus moving forward on the Coomera match. That's probably going to be a bit of a pattern because we're really starting to establish and nail down our patterns of play. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow at training. Great work.